Here's looking at you, kid.
If you want to foster an epic relationship, then you need to know the most important ingredient to making your woman want you. No, pine for you. No, dream for you. In the next 10 minutes or so, I'm gonna show you 7 exact steps to make a woman insatiably crave you. Whether you just started dating or you are about to celebrate 40 years together, you are gonna learn the benefits that you, beliefs, okay, we can't just make up words. You'll learn some of the beliefs that you might have about relationships are actually harming your love life and causing her to lose interest. And by the end of this video, you are going to be a more confident, more interesting, and more interested human being in the process. Sounds good? Yes, it sounds excellent. Thank you, Caitlin. Hello, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Caitlin V. I'm a sex and relationship coach, and I help people to become amazing in the bedroom, to show up in between the sheets with confidence and skill, to overcome sexual challenges and dysfunctions, and add a hell of a lot more pleasure to their lives. So if you want to be an amazing lover, and I'm sorry, who here doesn't, then be sure to like and subscribe to this channel so that you never miss a tip or a technique that can turn your bedroom game up to 11 and make you a sex god. Also, I have an Instagram. Now, our entire lives, we have been taught that in order to have a happy, healthy relationship with staying power, we need to spend every waking minute together with our partners. We have to know everything about them, everything that they do, and we have to be everything to them. Maybe that's why my mother cooed a rainbow when she found out that Paul and Linda McCartney literally never left each other's side through their entire marriage. Aww. In fact, in a very dangerous message, we are taught that wanting space from your lover must mean that there is a problem. But look, I want you to scrap this, banish it from your minds, because I am about to drop some truth on you. Are you ready? The one essential ingredient that every relationship recipe needs to thrive is space. The flames of passion cannot burn if there is no air to fan them. If there is no space between you and your partner, you're gonna end up with a stale, stagnant relationship, dead bedroom energy, and eventually your partner is going to go Rambo on you if she hears that sound you make when you're chewing, just like one more time. Because without a little bit of air, how is your partner supposed to miss you? And how are they supposed to want to close the gap between you when there is no gap? And if you're new in this relationship, like how is she supposed to want to take the next step in your relationship if what she actually needs is a break? You might be experiencing this already, especially during quarantine. Maybe you're around each other way more than not these days. Maybe you've been fighting a lot. Maybe the sex has gotten mechanical or boring, or maybe you're just getting on each other's nerves. In all relationships, you need to exercise the practice of space that allows someone else to miss you. And as Ariana Grande so widely said, as the great Ariana Grande so wisely said, it'll change the way I kiss you when I miss you. She's like a tiny little Aristotle with fake hair. If this is you, don't despair, just keep watching, because we are going to talk about why space is so valuable, how to create it, and how to go about creating space in a way that actually acts like a magnet, makes your partner miss you, makes her more interested in you, and makes you look more sexy and mysterious and the kind of guy that she pines for. First, let's start with the 5 reasons that space is so important. Number 1, not having any space in a relationship is highly associated with breakups. Literally, you are more likely to break up if you don't have space than if you have a bad sex life. In fact, one study that followed hundreds of married couples for 25 years found that about half of the couples ended up divorced. During this period of time, the researchers found that a huge percentage of people said the reason they broke up, which was, and I quote, "They didn't have enough privacy for myself in the relationship." And what may be more surprising is that women said this more often than men. Reason number 2, space is the anti-boredom. Listen, if you've ever taken a long trip away from your partner for whatever reason, you know when the sparks fly, when you get back together, everything is electric, you're so grateful to see each other, touch is intoxicating, the sex is wild, it is just fire to be around this other person. Well, space is the one to thank. Reason number 3, space is a form of self-care. You get to take care of yourself when you are taking a break from another person. And people who take care of themselves make great partners. Number 4, space fosters independence and a sense of identity. You want to be in a partnership with someone who has their own identity. You want to have your own identity, and then the two people come together to make one relationship. When the relationship becomes your identity, you become overly concerned with it, overly attached to it. You start to enmesh with your partner, and where you end and they begin starts to get kind of blurry. This is not healthy, even though so many movies and rom-coms and cartoons told us that it was. Actually, space is needed for confidence. Space is needed for you to take care of yourself, to know your worth, to be the person that attracted your partner to begin with. Now, if you happen to struggle with that, I beg you, please apply for my coaching program, High Performance Male. In High Performance Male, we work on the factors that actually cause enmeshment, getting not just to the symptoms of enmeshment, but actually addressing it at the source. We talk about who you are and how you relate to others, giving you back your sense of confidence, your self-worth, taking all the mystery out of self-care, and letting you know exactly how to care for yourself, how to make space, and how to draw partners to you like a magnet by creating space around you that's exciting for them to cross. And if you're married, if you're divorced, if you're single, High Performance Male can be the perfect fit for you, but it's a very selective program, so please apply at the link in the description. And finally, number 5, giving your partner some space takes all of the pressure off of you to be everything for her. Look, no person can be everything for their partner. Trust me, I have tried, and I have definitely tried to make a partner be everything for me. And I think this is unfair. This is why people end up so hurt and rejected and sad and even divorced in their relationships. The idea that the person who you marry or who you're dating should fulfill you totally is unfair. They cannot live up to that. And space helps you to realize that and not put so much pressure on them to be everything. And frankly, not to put so much pressure on you. All right, so now that we know why we need space, let's talk about how to create it. Because we don't want to create the kind of space that makes her wonder if you care about her, or the kind of space that leaves her questioning if you're even attracted to her, or the sort of like emotionally cold withdraw space that makes her wonder just what the heck is going on in your mind. Now, I'm not talking about playing mind games here, or waiting 3 days to respond to a text, or waiting 24 hours to call her back. I think that's dumb, quite frankly. I think there's no magic formula to how you, as a grown-ass man, should communicate with other grown-ass adults. So throw that formulaic way of thinking away, and let's talk about the top 7 ways to make her miss you. Number 1, do things that interest you. Whatever hobbies you enjoy, learning the guitar, or making trains, or TikTok. Making TikTok, not just watching TikTok. Watching TikTok doesn't count as a hobby. I tried that too. But you absolutely should go do the things that interest you, and you kind of get like lost. You get into a flow state. You're learning something, you're expanding, you're enjoying something that is giving you pleasure, so that when you come back home, you're bringing that freshness, that pleasure, the experience of doing something that you love, spending time with friends or with your community, and being separate from her, and then you bring all of that new zest and energy home with you. After all, you being out at the boxcar derby gives her a chance to miss you and to admire your excellent tiny car making skills. Number 2, spend time with your friends. In my one-on-one coaching with men, I discover all the time that men don't have many friends. They may have a couple buddies from high school or from college and maybe a handful of the neighbor guys or the dads that their kids go to school with that they have like light surface level relationships with. But men, adult men in particular, tend not to have deep, meaningful, vulnerable friendships in which they can share what's really going on for them or what's really challenging them or what's really great for them, what they actually like. So spend time with your friends. It improves how she sees you because she sees you as more valuable. You have a social network of people. We evolved to be social creatures. You having the respect of your fellow men is a highly attractive feature for us, something that women really, really like. It is super sexy when a guy has a group of people who love him and who he spends time with. And remember, those relationships require regular maintenance. So if you haven't spoken to your buddies in a while, give them a call right now, literally like write it in your calendar, like put an asterisk, throw a post-it note somewhere, reconnect with them, just ask them how they're doing. Reach out so that you have those friendships, keep them strong. Reason number 3, keep communication equal. Now, if you find yourself being the one who's initiating the conversation, initiating the date, initiating the hangout, watch out. You don't want to chase her. You don't want it to look like you're chasing her. You don't want it to look as if you have nothing better to do than to chase her. Quite frankly, it makes you seem boring, and no one wants to think, even though this is a bit counterintuitive, that they really are the center of your world. And if they tell you that they want to be the center of your world, go running in the other direction because they are not looking for a healthy relationship. Even if you do have all the time in the world on your hands, don't spend it hounding her. It lowers your value and it just looks unattractive. Number 4, encourage her to do her own thing. Remember the example of women not having enough time and space in relationships? Like, women also need time to do their self-care, their hobbies, spend time with their friends. She needs to be able to develop herself as a full person, and she will absolutely love you for encouraging her and for celebrating her for going out, doing her own thing, pursuing her own hobbies, hanging out with her friends. It feels so good when my guy is like, hey, why don't you go out with your friends this evening? I think it would be super fun. You haven't seen them in a while. Like, what? Yes. Number 5, don't talk too much about yourself. Women burn out on this behavior pretty fast. And quite frankly, a lot of guys don't have the best listening skills. I hope I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. But asking questions about her and her life and listening to what she says when she responds and not just waiting for your turn to talk is one of the sexiest things that a guy can do. It also makes you a little bit mysterious. In fact, in a sense, you're the dominant person in a conversation when you're the person that's asking the questions. When you're putting the attention on the other person, they become the sub. They become submissive to the conversation and you're dominating it because you are giving direction, giving questions, guiding the conversation where it's going. And when you're also listening to her and demonstrating that you hear her by saying things back to her like, oh, so it sounds like that meeting that you had at work was really challenging to you. Or, oh, wow, I'm so glad to hear about how you were as a teenager. It sounds like you were a real firecracker. Letting her know that you're listening to her is going to delight and excite and ignite her. All right, which brings me to number 6. Do something fun when you're together. This will give her something to miss when you're not around. She will miss the fun that you bring into her life. She will think about you and the joy, the freshness, the joie de vivre that you inject into her life when the two of you are together. Having fun, being playful, not only does it release lots of feel-good chemicals into our brains, but it also helps us to make permanent memories of our time together. So even if it's something like exploring a new part of town or taking her fishing, do something fun and different when you spend your time together, and she will miss you more when you're apart. And number 7, and I feel very strongly about this one, lay off the technology. When you're not together, don't bomb her phone. Don't feel like you have to keep tabs on her 24/7 or like track her whereabouts. She's not going to blow away in the wind if she's not texting you. And if you're texting her and blowing her up and not leaving her alone in her alone time, this can come off as desperate and even controlling. Which is not to say that if you feel like texting her, if you're thinking about her, if you're craving her yourself and you want to shoot her a quick message saying, hey, I can't get you off my mind. I'm so excited to see you again on Saturday. Heart emoji, your eggplant emoji, whatever's appropriate for your relationship, then do that. But then hands off, go back to doing the things that make you interesting, keep you happy, and are your self-care. Let her do hers and get back together on Saturday. Leave your cell phones out of it then. Be fully present together when you are in person, and I guarantee she will want so much more. All right, if you want women to find you deeply interesting, confident and sexy and worthy, if you want to be desired and you want to be missed, then you have to give both you, yourself, and your partner some space. Remember that only by letting the fire get some air can the fire be fanned into an inferno. If you liked this video, please make sure that you are subscribed to my channel where I post a new video every single week all about making your sex and relationships the best that they can be. I'm Caitlin B. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you here next week.